So, serious question. In that intro music, are those trumpets playing? And I'm asking because someone like yesterday told me that they hated my music. They were like, those trumpets are stupid and sound awful, or something to that effect. I don't know if those are actually trumpet. Reggie here, your friendly neighborhood bodybuilder and comic book collector, and I want to welcome you to another one of my videos. This is Comics Today, and this is a show that we do on Wednesday night to celebrate the best day of the week, that being New Comic Book Day. Doing this show also gives us an opportunity to come together as a comic book community and enjoy one another's company. And as evidence of that, if you tune in to the show and you come in a little early, what you'll see are a bunch of people with nothing else to do that hang out in the chat in advance of the show because they want to talk to one another. And then the conversation, if we do it right, actually continues over on the Discord. So if you have not yet joined the Discord, I definitely want to encourage you to do that. And certainly if you have not joined the channel, I don't know what you're waiting for. Go ahead and tap that button, turn on notifications, and that way you won't miss out on any of the content, including the podcast, which gets dropped on Monday. This show that you're watching or listening to right now is a live show, but then it'll be rebroadcast on the podcast. You might be asking, what platform? Well, all the platforms. If you search for Regie Collects, you will find me and you will be able to take some Regie on the go. In addition, want to give you guys a heads up. There is a dope blog post that dropped earlier today from my buddy Doug, who is on karate duty as we speak. He is doing the driving for the karate doers, and therefore potentially will not be able to participate in the chat. I saw that as I was getting ready for the show. Madam Blaster, it is good to see you. Master Blaster, I don't know if you're here, but your wife is, so I wanted to shout her out. Tina, the OG Blue Reg, who helps keep everything on track, is here as usual. It is always good to see you, my friend. John Harrison mentioned somewhere in this long chat that you guys were having before the show that he is getting some books back from EGS, and there were a couple of really cool books, including the Batman Adventures issue number 12. And yes, I am doing this all off of memory because I am way behind on the chat at the moment, and I'm trying to scroll through to catch myself up. There it is. Getting 7 Slab Comics back on Monday from EGS. There you go. Shout out to you, brother, for supporting Tony Trebetta, EGS Comics over there. I enjoy when Reggie is on vacation, able to catch some live streams. Brother, I've been going live pretty much every day. Every day for the last couple, we have been live since I think Sunday, right? I think I've been live every day since Sunday. If you guys are not checking me out on the Instagram machine, check me out. I've been trying to drop some of these reels, trying to have a little fun with this whole thing. So I definitely want to encourage you guys to check that out if you are not. We're going to be giving away some stuff tonight. Shout out to my man Milt for putting me in a position to be able to give away a ton of really awesome comics to folks. We've been giving away slabs and raw books and books related to Christmas. We do it in the form of trivia. So over the course of this show, I'm sporadically going to be inserting trivia questions into the chat, and also verbally. The first person to answer the question correctly will have an opportunity to win a prize. And this is pretty much open to folks in North America. So far, I think everyone that has won has been a U.S. resident. I think that is the case. The other big thing that I want to do before we get to some of the news and current events is that I want to announce the winner of the short boxed giveaway. This is a giveaway that we do every single month. Every month, Short Box sponsors 2 videos on the channel. In one of those videos, by simply commenting something substantive on the video, you are entering the drawing to get a $100 credit from Short Box. This is a fantastic app for buying and selling graded comics from CGC and also CBCS. If you guys have not downloaded the app, I encourage you to do so. Make sure you use the link in the description of my various videos. If If you cannot find it, let me know. And we are indeed live. So let's announce the winner of this thing. And if this person is not in the US, because I am not familiar with this person, if they are not in the US, we actually have a backup person. And I'll tell you who that backup person is in a moment. The reason that I'm saying this is because a lot of people, I am familiar with their names and have a general sense of where they're located. This is a name that is not familiar to me. And so I do not know if this person is in the US. The big reason for this is that the Shortboxed app is only available for the moment in the US. So that's part of the reason why the caveats. So the winner is Polo Fresh. I remember when I used to be Polo Fresh all the time. They had these boots back when I was in college that were amazing. They cost all the money in the world. I think they were $125, like all the money in the world to me as a college student. And I wore those things until they started to lean. But Polo Fresh is the winner of the $100 short boxed credit. Polo Fresh, make sure you send me an email to Regie@regiecollects.com with your screen name, government name, your mailing address, and I will send that information over to the folks at Shortboxed, who will then be able to give me the $100 code that you need, and then I will send that to you. So Polo Fresh is this month's winner, and the backup winner in the event that Mr. Fresh is not in the US is Vox. Vox is the backup winner. I only remember the first part of his name. I did the drawing. You can probably see the time. Is the time there? It was like right before the show. I almost forgot to do it. I don't know. Vox, I don't know how to say your rest of your name, brother, but you know who you are. So Vox, do not send me an email. We're going to wait for Polo Fresh to respond. And then if he is not in the US, I will reach out to you and make some magic happen. All right, let me go to the chat real quick. If you guys picked up, Polo got as you guys noticed, the wall back behind me is the Christmas wall again. We brought it back. We had to put it away for a short minute because I had to record something that was not fitting with that wall back there, but the wall is now back. If you hit up your LCS and you bought some comics today, let me know in the comment section what it is that you picked up. If you read something that was good that we should put on the top of our reading stacks, I want to know that as well. That helps people to prioritize and or to become aware of something that maybe they weren't aware of before that is a good read. One of the things that we do during this show is to try to remind people that comics are great, yes, as forms of investment, for speculation, all that kind of stuff, for appreciation of art, but they are also amazing to read as well. And that is something that many of us do day in and day out. And so that cannot go unmentioned. All right. So Squirrel Madness, there you go. My man Milt is in here. How you doing, brother? It is good to see you. Squirrel Madness is in here. Wayne, it's good to see you, brother. Richard is here. Scrolling down through some of the comments here. Silver Age Sage is in the house. The wall is back. Mass Snow says, Reggie, I did not pick up anything new from the LCS, but I did pick up a 5K that will keep me busy in the new year. Trying to be like you, brother. Yeah, you be careful what you wish for, okay? I'm gonna be honest with you, Mass Snow. Be careful what you wish for, brother, because just the other day, the wife and I were sitting there at the table having a conversation about the fact that Reggie needs a new collection. Daddy needs a new collection. I am on the hunt again and was all over the various I'm not even gonna tell you guys. I can't give you all my secrets. I was out there hunting. Okay, let's put it that way. I was hunting for a collection and have not come across anything, but I am keeping my fingers crossed that I will find something. Squirrel Madness is baking dog treats. That, hey brother, can you send? No, don't do that. Don't send me the recipe because I will not make them. I did just get done bagging up dog food. We serve our dogs a mixture of raw food, so I have to portion out the meat and the vegetables, and then I add a little bit of kibble at the time of consumption. So I was portioning out meals for the next like week or so. So I definitely get where you're coming from, brother. Milt says, got a bunch of books today, haven't read any yet, but Telepaths is on the top of his stack. That's what's up. Kevin Pitts is in here. He said he picked up some nice copies of ASM 18, 20, and 21. At first, brother, I thought that says 621. Again, I should look at the one that's on this side, not the tiny one that is across the screen over there. Scrolling through Steve White, he picked up Iron Man House of Slaughter. What is that? Issue what, 2 or 3? No, maybe more like three by this point. Moon Knight, Wolverine, Time Before Time, Chicken Devil, Gunslinger Spawn. He says it was a light week. My man Vox is in here. You, sir, are the runner-up winner for the short box. Stay tuned. If what was his name? Polo Fresh. If Polo Fresh is not in the US, I will reach out to you. He says he picked up House of Slaughter 3 and the variant, and also some Fear State tie-ins. That's what's up. Joe, I received a package from you today. It is sitting right over there in preparation for a video that I am potentially going to record tonight. Yes, brother. Yes, brother. That's why I say you have to be careful. Be careful. You. The more you consume, the more you want to eat. The almighty Liger King, it is good to see you, my friend. I actually put a post up on Discord earlier today. It was like, hey, if anybody knows of a comic book collection out there for sale, let me know. But I'm not looking for slabs. I'm looking for raw books. I'm going to do it raw. Fight the Good Fight. Online, he scored Deadpool Solo Series issue #1, as well as Ultimates #1, 9.8 CBCS, and Rawls of some move. Oh, you talking dirty. Ooh, Blue Marvel. If you, man, I am almost done with my run. I've read all of the Blue Marvel limited series a while ago. Just fantastic series. I have 2 copies of #1. One of them is torn, but I still need to pick up issue #5. And I have not picked it up mostly because I've been cheap and lazy. I've seen it a couple of times in person and online, and cheap and lazy is the best description. But Blue Marvel is dope. Ultimates 1, 9.8. Congrats on that, brother. Good stuff. Scrolling through, Shadow picked up King Spawn, Gunslinger Spawn, Lady. Okay, all right. I'm gonna be honest with you. A lot of those titles, I'm not familiar with those. That's not necessarily true. I've never read them. Let's put it that way. I've never read them. But at the end of the day, that's part of the reason why we do this show, is to point out some of the dope stuff for folks to become aware of. Deuces is in the house. Man, we are going to talk about that. Bear with me. Bear with me. Well, bored. Thank you, brother. Happy holidays and best wishes to you as well. L. Smith, only a few this week. ASM 82, Avengers 51. Batman 1 Dark Knight, he says, King Spawn Nubia, Amazonians 3, Refrigerator Full of Heads. That's just a weird title. I say that every time. My LCS had a long box of comics which we could go through for free. Were the comics free, or could you go through them for free? Because technically almost every comic shop has long boxes that you can go through for free, but the books aren't necessarily free. It is the sequence of the sentence that throws me for a loop there. Almighty Liger King, please clarify for me, my man. And I think I know what you're saying. I'm just having fun. Scrolling through some of the comments here, people are welcoming Milt. He's been here for like an hour. He is good. Just left LCS, got the new ASM. That's what's up. All right, let's do this. I have one more video that's going to be dropping this week. It is the Power of Comics. It is dropping tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I think it's a good video. I definitely want to encourage you guys to check it out. Will I go live tomorrow? Who knows? Who knows what kind of news may actually come out that will prompt me to jump on the MIC. We are about to give away the first book of the night. I am going to try to get myself together so that I can actually, this is a long, Milt, why did you make such a long question? Oh my goodness, I can't type this all that fast. Hold on one sec. Bear with me, people. I want to try to get all the words in the correct order and actually spell them correctly as well. Wow, I don't know any parts of this. Wow, wow. This is a tough one. Wow. Okay, he gave me, oh, it's a two-parter. It's a two-parter. We're only going to do one part. We're only going to do one part just because that's a lot. Madam Blaster says, I'm ready. Turbo Man says, giddy up. What is Well done, well done. I am trying. So, okay. all for the last hour. I'm part of a committee here in the community, and the guys have been going back and forth, right? Like we have a couple of guys that like to text, and I'm like, you know, just let's summarize it in a text, in a single text, and then I will like do what needs to be done. But the multiple text, when I have everything else buzzing to the phone, you know, it's to the watch, it's a lot. Steve White, that is not the correct answer. That Jordan is not the correct answer, sir. All right, so here we go. We are going to do days 10, 11, and 12 of the 12 days of Christmas. Also, today is the birth of my first child. This was his birthday. He is now 7 years old. He is like a grown little man. All right, so here's the question. Ready for the question? Say, yeah. Okay. Well done. All right. Matt Woods. Matt Woods is the answer for everything. There you go. Besides Adam West, who else was auditioned for the Batman role in 1965? And we are specifically talking about the Batman TV show that I enjoyed, even though it was extremely corny. And when you read early Batman, you see how they came up with that corniness, because Batman, if you put him in the real world, he would be corny. And so it was very fitting. When you read it and you think about that show, it makes perfect sense. So let me see. I'm waiting to see. And it's a person's name. I should probably say that. Ideally, we get the correct full name. I probably will not count spelling just because Clint Eastwood. Well done. Could you see? Oh, well. A young Clint Eastwood. I tried to make fun of it. Then I was like, could be right. All right, let me scroll up. Madam Blaster, I think she just tapped. I think Madam Blaster tapped. I think she tapped. Chuck is in here with Clint Eastwood. Thank you, brother. Definitely appreciate that. Scrolling through. That is the first answer. That is the first correct answer that I see. The spelling is somewhat off, but he's Canadian. It's okay. They spell things kind of strange up there. Lyle Wagner is the correct answer. Shout out to Wayne up there in the frozen tundra known as Canada. You, sir, are the winner of the 10th day of Christmas. My Milt gave to the hardcover. Ooh, 2 hardcovers. Ooh, some good stuff. All right. This is a nice copy of Marvel Zombies. Marvel Zombies right there. That is a dope cover. I think I actually own the real book as well. This is a soft cover graphic novel. How many pages is this? This thing was $15.99. That is, woo. Ooh, there's some pinups in the back. That's nice. I don't know how many pages this is. That's a nice copy. I don't think that's ever been read. That thing has not been cracked. The quality is almost as good as the Guide to Smart Comic Collecting. I'm going to tell you that right now. Almost as good. All right. So the other book that is in here is a hardcover that is still sealed in the plastic. It is Batman 66. Do you see the tie-in? Adam West, Kyle. Was it Kyle? Lyle Wagner. I don't know what Marvel Zombies has to do with it, but that's okay. That's a throw-in book. It's a throw-in book. Wayne, send me an email to Regie at regiecollects.com. Even though I have all of your contact information, I like to keep it for the record, so shoot that over to me. Did I do that in the right order? I did. Okay. I almost threw myself off there for a hot second. Got a little worried. All right. Scrolling through the comments. Are there sound effects? Am I making sounds? Is it me? Am I the drama? Scrolling through, you can tell I've been spending way too much time on TikTok and in Instagram Reels. You can tell that I've been spending too much time up there. Tell us about the pups. What do you want to know about the pups? The pups are growing, eating, and tearing up stuff left and right. They're tearing up stuff. That's just what they do. That's just what they do. All right, so let me go. The first thing that I want to talk about is actually a follow-up to some stuff that I did during yesterday's live stream. If you missed yesterday's live stream, I still want you to watch it. I still want you to watch it because it's a good live stream. But this is a continuation. So for those that don't know, a giant gaming company known as Embracer Group it's a Swiss company. They have actually secured a contract to buy Dark Horse Comics, right? They have not completed the transaction. It will be complete at some point in 2022. They are buying 80% of the shares from some individuals in Hong Kong, China, and the other 20% are coming from the CEO and founder as well as the COO. They are going to sell them these shares, and they will be a wholly owned company. So wanted to provide some additional context around like why they did this deal. So the publisher's new owner, which as I mentioned is Embracer Group, a Swedish video game conglomerate that actually has 9 other companies under their umbrella, currently has 9,000 employees globally. And as part of this acquisition, they are touting the untapped potential of the Dark Horse library, noting that 159 of its 170 owned properties have yet to be optioned for film and TV shows. And if you remember yesterday, I made mention of the fact that Dark Horse has access to 300 sources of IP, which is a combination of ones that they own and ones that they license. We are now seeing that of the 300 that they control, 170 of them are their own, with the balance being licensed out. And of the 170 that they own, 159 are free for deals, are free for them to do some kind of deals. Dark Horse has a first look deal with Netflix, which produces the popular Umbrella Academy adaptation, currently preparing for its 3rd season. Netflix is on a tear, right? Like everybody is going to Netflix. I think they have right of first refusal with a few people. They are on a tear to secure as much of this IP as possible. At least that's what it appears. The publisher, that being Dark Horse, also has various has projects at various stages of development at Universal, Warner Brothers, Paramount, Sony, Amazon, and AMC. I'm gonna be honest, I did not know that they had that many shots on goal. I don't know that I fully appreciated just how not aggressive, but just how busy Dark Horse actually was. I think about them in terms of comics. I don't really read their comics. I saw a lot of the comments that were on yesterday's video that were either in the live stream or left in the comment section. There are a lot of you out there that read Dark Horse comics, which I think is great. I don't necessarily read them, so my familiarity with everything that Dark Horse may be doing isn't quite there. So the article goes on. And this is on the Hollywood Reporter, goes on to say that Dark Horse has, again, around 300 sources of IP, including properties like The Mask and Time Cop, which became movies in the 1990s, Hellboy and its various movies and reboots. And I'm scrolling through. They're also talking about, I don't know if they should have mentioned this one. Giants such as Netflix have shelled out millions to acquire the rights to the work of creators such as Jupiter's Legacy from writer Mark Miller. I don't know if you would tout that one as a win. I think that thing was canceled before the first season even wrapped up. I tried to watch it. It was honestly painful to watch. I could not make it through. And I feel bad for anybody that may have spent a ton of money on the Jupiter Legacy comics, because I think they were selling for some interesting dollar amounts at one point. So what is that? Silver Age says, I recommend reading the Aliens versus Predator. It's such a fun read. I'll be honest with you, brother. I have them all. I literally have all the books. I have them all. Have not read a single one. Maybe I will. Maybe now is the time to crack it open and actually read it. So scrolling through some of the comments, Harvey Abel talking about Meek Man. Hey, I'm gonna be honest with you, brother. I mean, some parts of the world spell funny, other parts of the world measure stuff funny in these weird numbers. I don't understand it. As I tell people all the time, I'm an American, okay? And hopefully people understand that I am just teasing. I'm thinking of selling the rights to the Matt Woods story to Netflix. I was thinking a movie Netflix is trying to talk about me into I'm sorry, trying to talk me into a series over multiple years. Hey, brother, I'm gonna just be honest with you, Matt Woods. You know, I just want to be on TV, brother. I just want to be on TV. I need those residuals. Okay. So let me know. Let me know if I can get a cameo. I'll walk him. I'll be the man that walks across in the background, right? That's my title, right? Man that walks across background. That can be me. All right. Sign me up. Scrolling through some of the comments here. Richard says, Reggie, I have a feeling if you took the time to read all the books you own, you'd have to quit your psych. Brother, I'm going to tell you, I do a healthy amount of reading. I do a healthy amount of reading, but it is impossible for me to read everything that I have. And I think you know that, but I do try to read a healthy number of things. And I'm always reading things in the present day. I'm reading things in the past. I'm sometimes rereading things that I've read before, like if I want to make a video about them. So I'm always in this state of flux of just trying to pull in the content. So Ugly Ewok actually brings up a great point. So I appreciate this because someone else actually asked this question. This is actually something that we reviewed several months ago. We spoke about this several months ago, and this story gives me an opportunity to revisit what I believe to be true. The company that owns Alien and Predator is the House of Mouse. The House of Mouse actually owns Alien and Predator. You might be wondering how they own it. They own it because they bought 21st Century Fox. When they bought Fox, Fox owned those two properties. So that's how they were able to bring them in-house. Then you say, well, didn't Marvel just pick it up? Yes, Marvel picked it up. And you know how? My guess is that the House of Mouse took the licenses from Dark Horse and gave them to Marvel. That way they keep all the monies. They keep all the monies that way. They have now control of all of the IP. It makes perfect sense that they consolidate things because somebody made a comment on yesterday's video about why would Dark Horse actually sell though that IP. They actually never owned the IP. They were licensing the IP, and the IP, I'm assuming, or the license was pulled back. As I mentioned, Dark Horse controls about 300 sources of IP. They only own 170 of them. The others are licenses, and they clearly make a good amount of money licensing IP from other people to be able to turn into comics. So there you go. Scrolling through some of the comments here. Wayne has already sent me an email. Thank you, brother. I definitely appreciate that. Philip says Dark Horse has some obscure titles. I can see them on Netflix. Bobby, oh, here. So Bobby, let's be super clear. Let's be super clear. This is not what I'm talking about, sir. This is not what I'm talking about. I want to be on the real TV. I want to be on a streaming platform. I want to be in a movie, Bobby. I don't want to be on YouTube through your app on your TV. Bobby knows what I'm saying. Scrolling through some of the comments, Clyde is confirming what I just said. Yes, they are indeed. I do believe the IP as a whole is owned by Disney, and the rights to the comics are actually, I do believe, sitting with Marvel. And this goes to another point that we made before. I made this point. Somebody was saying that maybe, if you remember all that talk over the summer, all over the course of the summer, there were people out there that were like Disney or no, DC is shutting down. DC is shutting down. They're laying off all their people. They're going to shut down. There was a lot. The person that was saying it the most had hundreds of thousands of views. I love hundreds of thousands of views, but he was getting them for not telling the truth. He was getting hundreds of thousands of views for not telling the truth. And over the course of the summer, they just snowballed. So at one point, people were saying, well, maybe what they're going to do is to own the IP, own the movies, but then give somebody else the comic book rights. And I'm like, well, why would they give it away? Why not own everything? This, again, what Marvel and Disney are doing is what you should do. Don't give away a slice of the pie when you can have the whole pie. Take the whole pie, you know? Please, I need 100 100,000 views per video. Maybe I should just start making stuff up. Maybe I should just start making stuff. I would just start making stuff up, and then maybe I'll get a role in a movie where I can walk by with my sword. I mean, sign me up for some of that action. Brian is over here doing some math. He is doing some math. He says if I read all 100,000 comics in my collection, if I read 3 books a day, I'd be done in 47 years. I mean, again, it's possible. I'm 45. I might just make it. I might just make it. For clarity, the 100K collection is 100,000 books. I have another 5 to 7,000 here in the room. And when you do the math on that, I probably just timed out for being able to read all of those comics before I expire. I don't know. I don't know some of those deals. I don't know. Unfortunately, we still don't have that Predator comic. Scrolling through some of the comments here, I'm kind of reading through scrolling through. I am way behind as a fan, as a huge fan of Aliens and Predator franchises. I own a lot of the Dark Horse comics. There you go. I actually own, again, I own a healthy number of them as well. And Aliens is probably one of my favorite movies. Hands down, one of my favorite movies. The first Predator with Arnold Schwarzenegger is also a huge, man, that I love that movie as well. But the Aliens franchise is one that I absolutely love. I will sit and watch those all over again. Sign me up. Nosferatu. You know, I can be one of the guys swinging the sword, killing the Nosferatu. If you want me to be a vampire, just make sure they can see my face. Okay, just make sure they can see my face. Put the pointy ears on. Just make sure that they can see my face. That's all that I ask. All right, so let me take this off the screen real quick, and then we're going to do one more giveaway here. One more thing that I want to talk about is that I watched the season finale of Hawkeye, and this will maybe have a spoiler. Like, I don't know what I'm going to say, to be honest with you. I'm just going to riff here. So if you have not seen the last episode of Hawkeye, you may want to just put me on mute for a hot second and just watch my facial expressions rip. So I'm not going to go through and do a full review of this in all transparency, but this is an article that is on Newsarama, and it talks about how the actress that plays Kate Bishop could have a very bright future in the MCU. And I honestly do not deny that. I honestly do not deny that. I think that she is a pretty dope character, and I thoroughly enjoyed. I need to send a message. Wow, my children are being very, very loud. They should be getting close to the bed. She did a fantastic job in this series. I am very hopeful that they will do another series, or I'm sorry, another season or 2 of this show, because it was really, really good. It was a little slow, a little different, I think, versus some of the other like movies and shows, but it was good. And maybe what they were doing was allowing this character to grow, develop, and mature, so as to give her a fan base to move her on to something else, either a follow-up series as like the new Hawkeye, maybe it's the Young Avengers, maybe it's moving into the MCU. I'm not quite certain what's going to happen, but this character is solid. She is a solid character, and I thoroughly enjoyed her. I will also tell you, Vincent D'Onofrio, I have enjoyed Vincent D'Onofrio since he was on Law and Order. He was super quirky and awkward and weird on Law and Order, but I absolutely love the character, and he plays a fantastic Kingpin. Fantastic Kingpin. I do, however, believe that the fight scene between him and Kate Bishop, not that believable. Not that believable. When you see a guy rip a door off of a car and then he punches a little girl and she gets back up, maybe not so much. When you think about him fighting Daredevil, that fight scene between him and Matt Murdock, or Daredevil, in the Netflix series, that was a vicious fight. I don't even think Kate got bloody. I don't even think I don't think she was bloody. But again, the series, thoroughly enjoyed the series. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Let me go. I warned you. Full Metal Jacket. Thank you, brother. I was gonna say it, but I could not remember the name of the movie. That was a little sad. That he played the role well. It was an excellent portrayal, but it was sad. That was sad. The man, there's several scenes that I think were really, really sad. So spoilers ahead. Everybody was forewarned. Brandon had me muted. I respect it, brother. I respect it. What is it? If you make words up as Reggie talks, it's kind of fun. Someone tell me he started. All right, let everybody know that they can come back. You can come back. You can come back. You can come back. Hawkeye finale was solid. Well, Dave, how you doing, brother? It is good to see you, my friend. Richard said it moved to Disney. Blood not allowed. We will see. We will see. I think people will say certain things about Disney, but we'll see. We will see what happens with this, right? They are allowing Deadpool to be rated R, so it's not being fully sanitized. But we will see. We will see what will happen. I honestly cannot remember if there was blood in other episodes, like when that one guy was put away. Let's just put it that way. When he was put away, I cannot remember. I'll have to go back and look at it. All right, so we will move on. We will move on. There you go. Clyde, there you go. Clay is chiming in. Again, I don't know. If that's accurate, but that is something that people will talk about. All right, so we're going to move on. We're going to move on from that because I don't want people to be saddened by the fact that I am talking about Hawkeye. All right, so let's move on. It is time to give away another thing. Shout out to Milt for putting us in a position to be able to give away some stuff. Justin, how you doing, brother? It is good to see you. Desire Comics is in the house. How you doing, brother? It is good to see you. You guys have watched some of the animated Star Wars shows. I have not, as you guys know. As you know, I don't watch the cartoons. I think it was Dave that reached out to me about a new cartoon that may be dropping. I think Brian Michael Bendis is working on something. What is it? Legionnaire? Is it Legionnaire? I scanned the email or the messages as you were sending them. I was probably working on 12 other things at the same time. So, what is that, Reggie? Any chance you can show that index card on the BCW bin? For what purpose, brother? Help me to understand. For what purpose do you want to see an index card in the front of a BCW bin? As a reminder, I am. Oh no, we're not going to talk about that right now. Scrolling through. Princess, how you doing, brother? It is good to see you. While I wait for Mass Snow to answer my question around the index card, let's do a giveaway of the 11th day of Christmas. And as you can tell, it is a slab. Oh, you want to see how it looks, so it's a black. The bins are moved away from it. They're not where they were. It's basically a black box, and the index card literally goes in the end of it. It is nothing special. It is absolutely nothing special to see. I don't even have an index card here. It holds it on the very edges of the sides and at the very bottom as like a stop. That's pretty much it. It is really nothing special to see, my friend. Oh, I think you're asking about the printed version that I do. I haven't made one of those in probably over a year. Again, kind of lazy. Haven't made it in well over a year. All I did was I basically found a graphic. I shrunk the graphic down. I set my printer to print on index. What is it? 3.5 or something like that. I printed it off. I adjusted the size. I printed again. It was perfect. I slid it in the thing. That was pretty much it. Nothing special. All right. So here's the question. The question for the 11th day of Christmas giveaway. Here it is. Who wrote Conan the Barbarian? Who wrote Conan the Barbarian? I need first and last name. First and last name. Matt Woods, if you do not get this one correct, sir, you will not get that Netflix show movie that you've been angling for, and I won't be able to do the walk on. So I'm going to need you to get this correct. Seeing some of the comments, scrolling through. Again, brother, if you send me a message, Mass Snow on Instagram, I'll shoot you a photo of it, but it is literally across the room, and it is honestly nothing special. Scrolling through some of the comments here. trying to find the correct answer. I am looking for it, and I do. And so here's my problem. I have a real problem now, because earlier in one of the shows, somebody made a prediction. They made a prediction that they were just that good, that they were going to win twice. And sure enough, this person has won twice. They've won two of the giveaways. That person is Richard. Richard, oh, no, you didn't. My bad. My bad. I am so sorry. I am so sorry. I completely saw that wrong. It's another Canadian. It is another Canadian that has won. Richard, you have my apology, my friend. It was a good windup. It was a really good windup. I was selling that one and completely got it wrong. Harvey Abel has correctly answered the question. The writer of Conan the Barbarian is Robert E. Howard. He actually got all three parts of it. Oh, maybe you did get it right. Maybe you did. Yeah, I think you did. Your spelling's off, but I think you did. I think you did. So a mistake on top of a mistake. So this is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to do. Richard, you are the winner. Harvey Abel, I'm going to send you something. So I need both of you to send me an email to Regie@regiecollects.com. Again, Richard is the winner of the 11th day, but because of my double mistake, I'm going to send something to Harvey Abel up in Canada. I'll take care of it. I don't know what I'm going to send you, but I'll put something together. So stay tuned for that. Make sure you send me an email to Regie@regiecollects.com. Richard, let's open up your thing and see what it is that your Milt has given to thee. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Oh, for the record, Robert E. Howard, who wrote Conan the Barbarian, actually died at the age of 30 in 1936. Milt, what did he die of? That tis the question. What did he die of? This is a cool book. This is a Milt. Do you only have high grade, brother? Man, we probably should have gotten you a pedigree on your stuff, man. So this is Red Sonja. Red Sonja issue number 1 from 1977. Some Roy Thomas magic. This is a 9.6 with white pages, based on the Robert E. Howard Red Sonja. There is the tie-in. Well done, Milt. Richard, you, sir, are the winner. And as Richard said, he is lucky enough to have won twice. Congrats to you. We have one more giveaway to do, so stay tuned. I'll be giving that away here very, very soon. Hopefully you guys cannot hear my stomach growl because I am starving. Sounds like a bonus question. I wrote a bunch of awesome stuff. Oh, that's what he. No. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. So I see multiple answers of how he died. I am curious, honestly, now, how he. But he says he lived by the sword and he died by the sword. Man, I probably should not have read that one out loud. Oh, Pretty Fly. How you doing, brother? It is good to see you. Matt Wood says that's an amazing book. There you go. Dave, thank you, brother. So clearly the Bratton brothers are training their children for the zombie apocalypse. We have a daughter that does fencing and a son that does karate. They are not messing around. They are not messing around. That's what's up. There you go. Oh, wow. So it was suicide. Okay. So he died at the age of 30 in 1936 over suicide. And I'm hearing it was due to depression of his mother's death. So definitely a sad thing. Let's move on from that topic. So one of the cool things that I actually saw earlier today was that a character that a lot of people really like is going to be coming back to Marvel. He's actually going to be getting, I think, like a one shot or a series or something like that. Let's look at this together. Let's look at it together, because who I am talking about is the version of Wolverine also known as Patch. This is an article that is on comicbook.com. Legendary creator Larry Ham, I think that's how you say that, is actually coming back. He is bringing Patch back, and he's going to be working on Madripoor Adventure. I think that's how I've never said that word out loud. I think it's Madripoor. I think that's how you pronounce it. If not, you have my apology. But legendary creator Larry Hamm, I think that's also how you say it, is returning to Marvel Comics for Wolverine Patch, a new limited series that is set during his favorite Wolverine run from the 1990s. And so this is going to be pretty cool. It's kind of filling in some gaps from his legendary run from back in the day. And it looks like Nick Fury will also be coming in for some of the action. It says, judging by the cover and solicitation, the original Nick Fury will also be taking place in the adventure. And by original, I think that they are talking about the non-Samuel L. Jackson version of Nick Fury. But here you can see it. You can see it. Wolverine patch, pretty cool black cover there. A lot of people love the patch character that is on the cover of what is it? Wolverine issue number 8. A really awesome blue cover. Kind of sort of hard to find in high grade, but we get some Nick Fury back here and Patch in the foreground. A couple of different scenes here. It should be an interesting book. The art looks pretty solid, so I'm actually looking forward to checking this one out. It did not say, did it say when this was going to drop? Let me scroll through. I did not read the full interview of this thing, so I'm not seeing the details. It says that Larry's actually had worked on this thing for 8 years or so, that being Wolverine back in the day. So at least I wanted to share that information with you guys. The last thing that I wanted to highlight is this little detail here before we get to the final giveaway of the evening. The Doctor Strange trailer dropped, and I'm actually not going to show the trailer because I do not want to deal with the fallout. I do not want to deal with the fallout that comes with me showing this and having to do the appeal and all that other kind of stuff. But what was cool about this one is that we actually see the new Sorcerer Supreme Wong. We see Doctor Strange a few different times. We also see Wanda Maximoff, aka the Scarlet Witch. There is that direct tie-in from the WandaVision show. You actually see this all in the trailer. We also see Baron Modo, which I think is really cool. I mean, I dig the Doctor Strange movies. And so I am excited to see what this new movie will be about. I'm not the biggest fan of some of the more trippy aspects that come with Doctor Strange, but I like the actor that portrays him, and I enjoy him in that role in the movie. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. Some of the trippiness stuff that you see from the comics that will probably be in the movie, not necessarily my thing, but it's part of what you have to do. You have to take some good with some bad anytime you watch one of these movies. So should be really, really interesting. Again, wanted to hip you guys to that. If you have some time, I definitely want to encourage you guys to check out the trailer. Again, I'm not going to play it because I would have to do like a bunch of appeals and all that other kind of stuff. So let me see. I'm scrolling through some of the comments. You guys are still talking about Robert Howard and what happened there. Scrolling through. Thank you, Philtastic. Philtastic is giving us some indication of when we might actually see the Wolverine patch limited series. He says sometime in March. Thank you, brother. I definitely appreciate that. Scrolling through some of the comments here. Think I am all caught up. Doctor Strange looks like it's going to be wonky in a good way. That's literally what I was saying. The way, like, I think it's going to be cool, like the interpersonal stuff, some of the battles, but then, you know, they show that whole, you know, the magic gone awry, and some of that stuff gets a little too trippy for me, and I get lost, right? I just want to enjoy it, you know? So we'll see. We'll see how they do it. Scrolling through some of the comments here, seeing what is that? Mark is throwing out some trivia. What show did Doctor Strange Cumberbatch mother star in? I have no clue. I have no clue. What is that? I heard the new Hulk series isn't what people wanted after Immortal. I just recorded a video about that. It's a little trippy. And I'm not We'll see. We'll see if it turns a corner. It may turn a corner and it may get good. Because if you remember when Donnie started working on Venom, I wasn't a fan of that. It took me 2 or 3 times to actually read the first issue of Venom. But as I got past that first couple of issues, it started to get really good. And Venom ultimately turned out to be one of the better books in recent history because of how he fleshed out Eddie Brock and he gave us Dylan and all that other kind of stuff. Fingers crossed that we turn that similar kind of corner with Bruce Banner and Incredible Hulk. You know, the way that it's starting, it's I don't know about that one. So we will see. You have to take some Dramamine. Take some Dramamine before you watch any Doctor Strange stuff to kind of settle it down. Scrolling through some of the comments here, give that Hulk title time. Yeah, and I literally, that's what I was gonna say. Again, it may actually turn the corner and it may turn out to be pretty good. All right. So the end of the last issue of Hulk, I'm so mad because my last issue dinged on the corner. What I'm doing here is basically preempting myself. You guys, I don't think you know any of this stuff about the Hulk one and about my dinged issue number 50 because you haven't seen those videos yet, but I'm basically preempting myself with some of this stuff. So I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop commenting because I'm basically giving it away. All right. So let's get ready to do the last giveaway of the night. And as we do so, I want to give a huge shout out to Milt. I think that it is really fantastic. You know, a lot of people credit me for the channel. All I've essentially done is turn on some lights, turn on a microphone, record myself talking to myself, and then put that stuff out there. There are people out there surrounding this channel, and many of them are the Blue Wrenches. Many of you are watching the show right now that help make the channel what it is, that make the channel a community, if you will, right? You guys show up 15, 20 minutes before the show to talk to each other because you make all of this possible. And to that point, Milt, have to acknowledge his contribution. The guy reached out to me and was like, hey, I've got a bunch of extra books, doubles in some cases, that I want to give away to the community. Can I use you as a conduit to make that magic happen? And that's essentially what we've done, right? We have created a conduit from Milt to you guys, in some cases to some of you twice because you were just that lucky and maybe doing some good stuff in the world. That's all that I can say to you, Richard. But again, I want to thank Milt for, again, putting me in a position to be able to give away some really cool stuff and using the channel as a conduit to do it. As I try to separate this book from the backing board, we are going to get ready to show the next question. And it is, who created the Silver Surfer? And I need first and last name. Spelling does count. Who created the Silver Surfer? And this could be a tricky one. This could be a tricky one depending upon how someone chooses to answer this question. It could be very tricky. It could be tricky. I need first and last name. Shout out to there are a lot of women that are buying the guide to Smart Comic Collecting. I'm going to tell you, for the last couple of weeks, not every, but a lot of the names are women. Women are buying the guide, which I think is fantastic. I think it is fantastic. I have a feeling it's because of the cover model. I have a feeling it's because of the cover model. The Regie with one. Hey, Spike Lee just signed a very big deal, multi-year deal with Netflix. Again, Netflix is gobbling stuff up. Spike Lee signed a multi-year deal to actually produce content for Netflix. Shout out to Spike Lee. Do the Right Thing, hands down, one of my favorite movies. Made me want to go to college and do the right thing. That's all I'm gonna say to you. Scrolling through the comments here, let's see if I can actually pick the correct winner the first time. Scrolling through some of the comments here, and I have identified what I believe to be the first person to get it correctly. And I'm double checking now because I am super nervous. It is Clay. Clay 3613 said Jack Kirby. Now, again, depending upon how you answer, could have been a little tricky. But Milt says that it is Jack Kirby. Therefore, it is Jack Kirby. And the book that we are going to be giving away on this 12th day of Christmas to Clay 3613 is Silver Surfer. Issue number 14 is a Spider-Man appearance, and it is also a 4.0 with white pages, a Stan Lee story, but Silver Surfer created by Jack Kirby. There we go. Cool book. I have this book in my collection. Out of the 100K collection, we pulled the entire run of Silver Surfer Volume 1. Shout out to you, brother. So again, if you won tonight, and technically we have 4 winners, including Harvey Abel, send me an email to Regie@regiecollects.com, 1G, screen name, government name, mailing address. I will bundle some stuff up and send it out to you, and I want it out of here as soon as possible. So please send me those emails so that I can get this stuff bundled up. As a reminder, we have one additional video that is going to be coming out tomorrow. It is called The Power of Comics, and I think it's a good video. I encourage you guys to watch it at 6:30 Eastern Standard Time. Again, if you guys have not, let me give an update. Let me give a quick update on the guide to smart comic collecting. This is the first print. We are getting closer to releasing the second print. We're getting closer to actually pulling the trigger on the print run. I am working through the exact quantities as well as the ratios. When I know how many I'm going to print and what the ratios are, I'm going to disclose all of that information to you guys so that we have some full transparency of how many copies will actually be out there. I will also tell you that the guide is actually closer to 80 pages, not 90. As we've reflowed the content and put things in its place, we have a better sense of how long it's going to be. It is actually closer to 80 pages. The first print was closer to 65 pages. This second print is closer to 80 pages, and it is going to be the exact same price. We've added one additional chapter and a few other little features that some people out there may actually appreciate, but we're getting closer to actually printing this thing. When we do pull the trigger, I will disclose all of the information in terms of how many we are printing, what the breakdown is between cover A and the different variants, right? The red cover and the purple cover, all that kind of stuff will be provided to you guys. So stay tuned for those details. So that was the big thing that I wanted to make you guys aware of. All right, let me scroll down real quick, see if I'm all caught up on the chat, and indeed I am. Housewife, what is that? Housewives all across America are buying this guy. Brother, I'm gonna be honest, man. If women are buying this guy because they want to become more knowledgeable about the hobby, I applaud them for that, right? As guys, man, we sometimes feel that we know more than we do, whereas sometimes other people will go and actually do the research and actually know things where we assume we know things. And that's why one of the best things that I learned from my father-in-law is, honey, you could be right? That idea of trying to make my wife feel like she's not right is not the right thing to do, because she actually has a great deal of knowledge, whereas I assume that I know some stuff. So yeah, there you go. I'm gonna submit your book to CGC. It better come back CGC 10 mint, because there, hey. So I will tell you, we have 24 copies. 24 copies of the guide, the first print, this one right here, already at CGC being graded. They're at the grading and encapsulation stage at CGC. I'm keeping my fingers crossed that they will actually be graded by the time Christmas hits. So maybe tomorrow. Fingers crossed that actually happens. I am very hopeful. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know if it's going to come back at a 10. I don't know about that. I don't know. I cannot speak to it. But fingers crossed that it does come back at a good grade, right? So that is after you read it, because I do want people to actually read it. So I think wives should read the guide. I don't want my wife selling my books. Hey, Pretty Fly, If she sells them to me for cover price, it's okay. If she sells them to anybody else, it should actually be at market value. So make sure she reads the guide and looks out for Regie. That's all I'm saying. Will you submit your signature to CBCS since my first edition is signed but not slabbed yet? Yeah, I mean, I will, Vox. I don't know the process through which to submit my signature to them. But if that's something that I can do because you plan to get your book graded, then yeah, let's do it. Let's make the magic happen. And he's giving me additional details. Thank you, brother. No, I assume that. So thank you. Let's make that magic happen. I have no clue how to do it, so we may have to do a little bit of research to figure it out. I know what the paperwork takes for CGC, and they have that. They have the signature. They have the paperwork. They're good to go. Because I've never sent anything to CBCS, I have no, in terms of signed books, I have no clue what the process is, but let's figure it out. Let's make that magic happen. So the guide's a good gift. Hey, um, mm, that might be the equivalent of giving a vacuum. Unless it's my wife who really loves vacuums. I don't know. I don't know about that. But again, I saw somebody else kind of co-sign the CBCS submission thing. Again, you guys let me know and we can make that magic happen. All right. With that said, I'm going to wrap this up. What is that? Regie, is there a census of how many tens? Not yet, brother. Not yet. When the books are graded, then they should be loaded to the census and we will have some insight. At the moment, the 24 copies that are at CGC have not yet been graded, so I have no clue what's going to happen with that. But when those books do get graded, I will be doing an announcement on the social media to let people know that those graded copies of the first print are available for people. I will be first giving heads up to Patreon first, because that's the commitment that I have to Patreon, to give them advance notice, not necessarily put pressure on them to buy and support, but to say, hey, with your membership comes privileges. The privileges is there's a lot of them, but it's also advance notice of things that I am doing. So 24 copies. And again, it first goes to it first goes to Patreon. So hopefully you guys appreciate that. All right. If you guys need me, I am not too hard to find. Just send me a message on Instagram at Regie Collects, or if you have to, you can also send me an email at Regie@RegieCollects.com. With that said, I bid you adieu. Take care.